The barren wasteland stretched endlessly under a pale, green-tinged sky. Deep fissures cut through the cracked surface, remnants of a catastrophic event that had long since extinguished any signs of life. Tarek stood at the edge of a ridge, his breathing steady despite the thin air. A seasoned salvager, he had seen ruins before, but nothing like this. His gaze locked onto a faint shimmer in the distance, a metallic structure partially buried under layers of ash and dust. He descended carefully, his boots crunching against brittle rocks. As he drew closer, the scale of the structure became apparent. It was massive, sprawling across the landscape like the skeleton of some ancient titan. The design was unmistakably alien. Smooth curves, intricate patterns etched into metal that defied corrosion, and an aura of forgotten grandeur. Tarek activated his wrist scanner, its blue light dancing over the surface. No energy signatures, he muttered, half disappointed. But the lack of power didn't deter him. What lay before him was a treasure trove of knowledge and technology. The entrance was sealed, but a nearby fracture in the structure offered an opening. Sliding through the gap, Tarek found himself in a cavernous chamber. The air was heavy with the scent of decay and ozone, but the architecture was breathtaking. Walls that pulsed faintly, as if alive, and a ceiling that shimmered with faintly glowing constellations. His scanner beeped. Traces of an unfamiliar alloy. Tarek frowned. This place wasn't just abandoned. It had been deliberately hidden. What were you running from? He mused aloud, his voice echoing in the emptiness. As he ventured deeper, the eerie silence was broken by the faint hum of machinery. It was distant but unmistakable. He followed the sound, weaving through corridors that seemed to shift as he walked. Every step brought new wonders. Alien glyphs etched into walls, broken devices emitting faint sparks, and remnants of a civilization far beyond humanity's grasp. In the heart of the structure, he found it, a central chamber dominated by a massive console. The console's surface was a swirling mass of lights, flickering weakly as though struggling to maintain function. Tarek approached cautiously, brushing dust from the controls. His fingers hovered over a glowing panel. "Here goes nothing," he whispered, pressing a button that seemed like an activation switch. The response was immediate. Lights flared to life, illuminating the chamber in a kaleidoscope of colors. The hum of machinery grew louder, resonating through the walls. Tarek stumbled back, shielding his eyes as holographic displays erupted around him, showing fragments of alien landscapes, diagrams, and symbols he couldn't decipher. Then came the voice, cold, mechanical, yet laced with urgency. It spoke in a language he didn't understand, the words sharp and rhythmic. Tarek's wrist scanner struggled to translate, spitting out fragmented phrases. System compromised. Restoration initiated. Warning, return imminent. His heart raced. Return? Who's returning? The hologram shifted, displaying an image that sent a chill down his spine. Massive ships, their sleek forms cutting through the void of space, heading directly toward the planet. Tarek stepped back, his mind racing. This wasn't just an abandoned relic, it was a beacon, and he had just activated it. Whatever had left this place behind was coming back. He glanced around the chamber, weighing his options. He could turn off the console, but the damage was likely done. The signals were already broadcasting. Or he could try to understand the technology, maybe even use it. Humanity had clawed its way to survival by salvaging scraps from the stars. Perhaps this place could be their greatest find yet, or their doom. Resolute, Tarek stepped back to the console. His fingers brushed the controls again. If the aliens were coming, he wouldn't face them unprepared. The chamber hummed louder, its systems coming fully online. The air felt charged with potential, and Tarek's determination hardened. Whatever lay ahead, he would be ready. The alien console flickered as Tarek worked tirelessly to decipher its functions. Weeks had passed since his discovery, and the structure had transformed from a dormant relic into a bustling project site. Makeshift workstations cluttered the central chamber, filled with human tools and scavenged alien components. Tarek ran a hand through his unkempt hair, frustration evident on his face. "Still nothing on the core interface?" he asked, glancing at the AI projection floating beside him. The AI, A translucent sphere of shifting light and patterns responded in a synthesized voice. Progress remains limited. Alien systems resist integration with human technology. Current compatibility, 32%. Tarek sighed. The AI, dubbed Orb, was the closest thing to a guide he had. When he first activated the console, the system had begun repairing itself, bringing Orb online to assist. Though helpful, it was cryptic, frequently warning him of unknown risks and protocol violations. Still, Tarek persisted. Humanity needed this. The facility's advanced technology could revolutionize Earth's struggling colonies, offering renewable energy, advanced medicine, and even terraforming capabilities. But the deeper Tarek dug into the systems, the more secrets he uncovered, some exhilarating, others deeply unsettling. One breakthrough came when Orb translated part of the alien glyphs on the walls. They weren't just decorative, they were instructions. Using the translations, Tarek activated the structure's energy core, which hummed to life like the beating heart of a giant. For the first time in centuries, the facility glowed with power. The effect was immediate. Lights illuminated corridors long shrouded in darkness, revealing intricate designs and previously hidden chambers. One chamber contained a vertical garden filled with plants unlike anything Tarek had seen, thriving despite centuries of neglect. Another held a repository of crystalline data storage units, their contents locked behind encryption Tarek was only beginning to understand. Yet with every victory came a new challenge. The facility's systems were temperamental, as though resisting his attempts to control them. Power fluctuations disrupted his work, and certain areas remained inaccessible despite his efforts. Each time he asked Orb why, the AI gave the same cryptic response, restricted by original protocols. Unauthorized access may trigger consequences. Tarek was no stranger to risk. If he had stopped every time someone warned him of consequences, he wouldn't have survived this long. Late one night, he bypassed the security locks on one of the restricted sections. What he found left him speechless. The chamber was vast, its walls lined with stasis pods. Each pod contained an alien figure, tall, slender, with elongated limbs and bioluminescent patterns on their skin. They appeared dormant, their forms suspended in an eerie stillness. A chill ran down Tarek's spine. "Orb," he whispered. "What is this?" "Preservation chamber," Orb replied. "Occupants are original custodians of this facility. Status, dormant. Estimated reactivation time, 97 Earth hours." Tarek froze. Reactivation? He had assumed the aliens who built this place were long gone. But they weren't. They were here, waiting to wake. "Why didn't you tell me?" he demanded. "You did not inquire," Orb said simply. Panic surged in Tarek's chest, but he forced himself to think. If these beings woke up, what would they do? Would they see him as an intruder? Or worse, would they reclaim the facility and cast humanity aside? He retreated to the main chamber, his mind racing. Every decision he had made was to help humanity survive. But had he gone too far? Activating the facility had set things in motion that were now beyond his control. The hum of the systems around him grew louder, as if echoing his inner turmoil. Orb's voice cut through the noise. "Recommendation: prepare for arrival. External signals indicate approach of unidentified vessels. Estimated arrival: 96 Earth hours." Tarek's blood ran cold. The aliens weren't just waking up. Others were coming. Resolute, he squared his shoulders. "Then we make this place ours before they get here." The chamber lights pulsed in response, and Tarek dove back into the console, determined to finish what he started. The sky above the alien structure darkened unnaturally as the first of the vessels breached the atmosphere. Tarek stood on the facility's observation platform, his heart pounding as the sleek, angular ships descended in perfect formation. They moved with unnerving precision, their metallic hulls glinting in the faint light of the system's distant sun. Orb hovered beside him, its sphere of light pulsating with increased intensity. Arrival confirmed. 5 vessels. Identification: original custodians. Intent unknown. Tarek clenched his fists, trying to steady himself. The restoration of the alien facility had been his greatest achievement, but now, standing in the shadow of the returning owners, He felt small, insignificant. Still, he couldn't back down. This place wasn't just alien anymore. It was part human now, too. The ships landed with a deafening hiss, releasing plumes of steam that obscured the area. When the mist cleared, the aliens emerged. They were taller than Tarek had expected, their slender forms glowing faintly in the dim light. Their movements were graceful but deliberate, exuding an air of authority. The leader stepped forward, its bioluminescent patterns shifting in what Tarek assumed was a display of communication. Orb interpreted immediately. Statement: unauthorized activation of sacred site. Explanation demanded. Tarek took a deep breath and stepped forward, his voice firm despite the tremor in his hands. This site was abandoned. I restored it because humanity needed it to survive. We've given it new purpose. The alien's glowing patterns shifted rapidly, and Orb translated. Rebuttal. This facility was not abandoned. It was preserved for our return. Restoration is appreciated, but unauthorized use is unacceptable. The tension was palpable. Tarek could feel the weight of their judgment in the alien's unblinking gaze. Behind him, the facility hummed with life. Human ingenuity and alien technology intertwined. He couldn't let it be taken away. Not after everything. This isn't just your legacy anymore, Tarek said, his voice rising. Humanity has poured blood, sweat, and tears into this place. We've made it our own. We're not your enemies, but we won't give it up either. The alien leader tilted its head, as if considering his words. Its patterns shifted more slowly now, and Orb's voice softened. Query: why risk desecration for survival? Tarek paused, searching for the right words. Because survival is what we do. We've faced extinction more times than I can count, and each time, we've found a way to endure. This place, it's more than just a facility to us. It's hope, a chance to build something better. Not just for us, but maybe for everyone. The alien leader turned to its companions, their patterns flickering in rapid exchange. When it turned back to Tarek, its glow dimmed, and Orb spoke again. Proposal: joint stewardship. Facility to remain active for mutual benefit. Conditions to be negotiated. Tarek's breath hitched. He hadn't expected a compromise, but he wasn't about to squander the opportunity. Agreed, he said without hesitation. The alien extended a slender, glowing hand, a gesture Tarek instinctively recognized. He stepped forward and grasped it, the alien skin cool and smooth under his touch. As the agreement was sealed, the facility's system surged, the hum of its core growing stronger. Orb spoke once more. Observation: cooperation unlocks full potential. Facility optimization in progress. Tarek stepped back, watching as the structure transformed before his eyes. Walls shifted, revealing new chambers and advanced systems. The facility wasn't just a relic of the past anymore. It was a bridge to the future, shared by two civilizations. For the first time in weeks, Tarek allowed himself to smile. This wasn't the end of the story. It was the beginning of something far greater.